I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go from the Brickyard. Cody Burke and Dylan Schreiner on the front row. Christopher White, CJ Jeffries on the second row. Matt Morrison, Joshua Nichols on the third row. Brandon Jennings, Richie Joplin on the fourth. Ryan Philbrick and Devin McDonald round out the top 10. Patrick Pieper in 11th next to Kirk Marble in 12th. Troy Thomas in 13th, Alex Harper in 14th, Scott Roney in 15th, Richie Ragsdale in 16th, Joshua Rudolph in 17th, Brian Hewitt in 18th, Mark Kluge in 19th, Austin Ruskoff rounding out the top 20. Kyle Reeder and Malachi Martin 21st and 22nd, Ryan Caldwell, Garrett Korn 23rd and 24th, Jeremy Queener, Double D, and Tyler Tucker round out the 27-car field here at Indy. Brandon, I'm sure you did, buddy. It's got to be a fun race to go to. All the drivers getting stacked up on the grid. This is the first race in over a month that we have had less than 30 drivers. In fact, the last race we had less than that was Kentucky 7 weeks ago. We had 28 drivers, 27 tonight. And per the rules, Cody Burke will drop to the tail, giving Dylan Schreiner and Christopher White the front row. Now, who will kiss the bricks here tonight? And with the tire and fuel situation, things could get sketchy. 80 laps, but only 2 additional tire sets, so they're going to have to stretch those tires they're on right now as far as possible. But as we mentioned earlier, only 13 to 15 laps on a tank of fuel. Drivers are going to have to be careful with the tires in the early going to have something left later on in the race. Pace car leads them through 3 and 4. Here they come, out of turn 4, the pace car will drop in. And everybody will get ready for Barney the Flagman to drop the green flag. Here tonight, here we go. And the green flag flies. We are down and away at the Brickyard. Dylan gets an amazing launch into turn 1. Dylan quickly takes the lead, but all the cold tires in the field and side by side through 1 and 2 through the short chute. Everybody makes it through onto the backstretch. A lot of action. Guys trying to pick up a couple spots. here in the early going. Brandon Jennings already picking up 3 spots into 4th. But out of turn 4, looks like Schreiner will lead lap 1 at the Brickyard. Everybody settling in, single file for the moment. We saw this Thursday night when Home Motorsports was here. Couple laps in, everybody settles in, finds a rhythm, and just holds on to that first pit stop. Although, seeing back toward the back, a lot of jumping around. And that would explain it. The Dominator is on his way forward. Remember, Cody had to drop to the tail end. He started in 27th, already up to 20th. Ryan Philbrick already up 3 spots into 6th. Patrick Pieper battling for 7th. That'll put him up 4 spots. Troy Thomas up 3 spots into 10th. Austin Ruskoff up 4 spots into 16th. Malachi Martin up 4 spots into 18th. Garrett Korn up 5 spots into 19th, and Korn on the attack. Several drivers making the attack here in the early going, but again, they've got to make these tires last quite a while. Roughly 30 laps on a set of tires. They're going to have to take it easy. Christopher White in 2nd, has the fastest lap so far. 52.59 as he closes back in on Dillon. Matt Morrison now up into 3rd, Jennings in 4th, CJ Jeffries in 5th. CJ was extremely fast last week. But man, a rough night late in that race sent him from battling for the lead toward the back. Ryan Philbrick right on CJ's bumper. Philbrick up 3 spots. Patrick Pieper up 4 spots into 7th, trying to close that gap. Brandon Jennings is reeling in the 3 cars ahead, but Ryan Philbrick just took 5th place, moving CJ back into 6th. Pieper is bringing a small group of them closer as well. Joshua Nichols, Richie Joplin, Troy Thomas, and Devin McDonald all right there. Kirk Marble there as well. Alex Harper and Scott Roney also in this group. Garrett Korn now 9 spots into 15th. Korn is definitely on the move tonight as well. looks like Richie Ragsdale may have had a connection problem a few moments ago. He is getting back out on track. But he is a lot of laps down at the moment. Brandon Jennings has caught up to the top three. The top four now less than a second apart. Ryan Philbrick about 2 1/4 seconds back in fifth. Devin McDonald currently holding on to 10th, and we've seen Devin McDonald have some catastrophically bad luck lately. Devin has been fast week in and week out, been up in the fight, up in the top 10, often in the top 5, but often getting caught up in somebody else's mess that sends him backwards. Schreiner has led every lap so far, but Christopher White looking to change that. Christopher right on Dylan's bumper. He has started peeking to the inside and looks to the inside down the backstretch. Not enough of a run yet. Lap times are starting to slip as tires are starting to wear. 10 laps in. Dylan Schreiner's fastest lap, 52.67. Last time by, 53.71. Already a second a lap slower. However, currently track temperature holding at 83. Right about where they practiced at, as here we go. Christopher White sends it deep into turn 3. And he is going to take the lead for the first time tonight. Does appear the air temperature holding steady at 66 degrees. For the moment. Ryan Philbrick back in fifth is reeling in the top 4. He's about 2 1/4 seconds back in closing. CJ now back into 6 as Patrick Pieper around the bumper. Patrick brings Joshua Nichols and Richie Joplin with him. Richie may have a bit of an advantage here tonight. Remember, Richie was here Thursday night with Home Motorsports. Got a lot of laps and a lot of practice in. Devin McDonald and Kirk Marble closing in. Kirk looks under Devin. And Kirk breaks into the top 10 for the first time. We could start seeing drivers in for fuel this time by. Remember, we're talking 13 to 15 laps on a tank of fuel. after. Most of these drivers are going to try and stretch as far as possible, because very few, if any of these drivers, will get tires this time by. Jeremy Queener now at 6 spots into 19th. As he goes by Ryan Caldwell, who's up 3 spots into 20th. And so far, nobody has come in. Christopher White has done a great job with his tires so far. He has already pulled out to a 1 second lead. Have to wonder with these cooler temperatures, are they going to be able to run an extra lap or two? I was told that Thursday night they did discover sitting in the draft they could save an extra lap or two. I'd be willing to bet a few drivers are conserving. Double D is headed in. Donald Durant is the first driver to pit road tonight. And the leader is coming in. This could be the bulk of them. Wow, here come a lot of cars. Most of the top 10 is in. CJ Jeffries, Joshua Nichols, Kirk Marble, and Cody Burke stay out. But this is the better part of the field is in. Only 9 of 27 cars stayed out. CJ Jeffries takes the lead for the first time here tonight. Joshua Nichols in second, Kirk Marble in third, Cody Burke in fourth. And here they come to pit road. The rest of them coming out of turn 4 are headed in. Nobody's going to try and stretch it. Christopher White, currently the highest running car that has completed pit stops, and it looks like fuel only for everybody but Brian Hewitt and Double D. And I do believe Christopher White will reassume the lead here in a moment, and he just did. Here in a lap or so, we'll take a look at where everybody is running, but everybody appears to have made it on and off pit road without a problem. No penalties tonight either. We saw several penalties Thursday night with Home Motorsports when they were here. But so far, the SMR boys are clean and green. All right, looking through the field, now that pit stops are done, Christopher White still has the lead over Dylan Schreiner. Matt Morrison now into third. Brandon Jennings into fourth. Ryan Philbrick in fifth. Patrick Pieper up to sixth. CJ Jeffries holds seventh. Kirk Marble picking up a lot of ground into eighth. Richie Joplin now up into ninth. And the Dominator has made his way into 10th. Joshua Nichols now up into 11th. Devin McDonald in 12th. Alex Harper in 13th. Garrett Corn up 10 spots into 14th. Scott Roney now up to 15th. Austin Ruskoff in 16th. With Ryan Caldwell right behind in 17th. Mark Kluge up to 18th. Malachi Martin in 19th. Troy Thomas in 20th. Joshua Rudolph 21st. Jeremy Queener 22nd. Queener is coming back in. That's going to give 22nd to Kyle Reeder. Brian Hewitt to 23rd and Double D to 24th. We'll have to keep an eye on Jeremy and see what is going wrong here. I don't see any damage to the car. Did have a few drivers say after Thursday night, getting off of pit road, they did have some problems and get penalized. That happened to Richie Joplin and set him back in a big way. Dylan Schreiner in second, now losing ground. Christopher White is pulling away. A 1.5 second lead at the moment. Right now, the guys that are good on old tires are the ones that have the big advantage. Cody the Dominator Burke qualified on the pole again tonight. But as per SMR rules, he had to go to the tail end of the field. He has fought his way up into 10th and is right on the bumper of Richie Joplin. Another driver on the move so far tonight. Garrett Corn already up 10 spots into 14th. He is closing the gap on Alex Harper just ahead. Scott Roney back in 15th at the moment. Just a hair faster and is closing in on Garrett. Austin Ruskoff keeps peeking to the inside. Trying to get back past Caldwell, hasn't been able to quite yet. Wow, Christopher White, since the pit stop, has opened up a 2-second lead. Jeremy Queener now a lap down. It looks like he did get a penalty exiting pit road. Now he is right behind second place, Dylan Schreiner. He has got a lot of ground to make up back in 25th. And Richie Ragsdale is in. This will actually be Richie's first official stop. Remember, Richie had technical issues earlier on in the race. Matt Morrison having a heck of a race, currently sits in third. Ryan Philbrick up 5 spots into 4th. Patrick Pieper up 6 spots into 5th. Kurt Marble up 6 spots into 6th. Got a group of very fast cars right behind CJ Jeffries, Richie Joplin, Cody Burke, all right there. Brandon Jennings and Joshua Nichols, 10th and 11th, just a little bit behind. Richie did tell me earlier today he has never been able to beat Cody Burke He'd love to beat him tonight. And I know Richie was disappointed after Thursday night in Home Motorsports, their race here. He was disappointed with himself, very frustrated. Richie trying to turn it around here tonight. And Christopher White is now hoping this race stays green the whole time. He has a 2.5 second lead, continuing to pull away. Oh, we've got a 3-wide battle down the front stretch. Richie Joplin trying to battle, but Burke has him to the inside. Cody Burke takes 7th. Cody gets 2 spots in that exchange. Richie now to 8. CJ back to 9. And the Dominator continues to march toward the front. Right now, Christopher White continuing to pull away. I'm not sure Cody Burke can run him down. His lead is growing every single lap. Troy Thomas has just come to pit road. Looks like Troy took tires. He is back out. And we have talked about it here in the past, but man, being the only car on track with fresh tires, it's about the most fun you can have. Ryan Philbrick. Philbrick is losing a lot of ground. Looks like he had some problems. Potentially in 3 and 4. Let's see what happened. Oh, that is through 1 and 2. Ryan coming out of turn 2. Oh, Ryan pushes up into the wall way low. He holds on to it and never lifted. Did lose some momentum and some speed, but Ryan kept it out of the wall and keeps it pointed the right way. Dylan Schreiner is on pit road. And I think I just figured out the strategy that's playing out here. Drivers coming in a few laps early. They'll have the fresher tires. They'll stop on lap 27 and 54, meaning that last sprint. Dylan is not getting tires. That was fuel only. Every time you think you have it figured out, you're wrong. Brandon Jennings gets tires. Anybody watching at home want to make a guess on that strategy? Please do. I think Brandon Jennings may have the smart move here. I do know a lot of drivers were concerned about 30 plus laps on a set of tires and what it was going to do to the car. Christopher White is in. And Matt Morrison is going to the lead for the first time. Brandon Jennings on fresh tires, drops to the bottom and powers by. Like I said, folks, most fun you can have in a race car is having the only fresh set of tires on track. Morrison is in, Double D is in. And Kirk Marble takes the lead for the first time. Kirk is up in contention for the championship. Comes into tonight second, 10 points. He wants to pick up every bonus point possible. And I think Pieper may have gotten the wall at a turn 2. Cody Burke managed to get by. See if we can take a look at what happened with Pieper. Looking down from the blimp, Patrick a little loose on a 1. Sends it through turn 2. Is loose out of 2, kisses the wall. Burke manages to avoid him and slips by. Both drivers keep going the correct way. And we have a lot of cars on pit road. Kirk Marble and Cody Burke stay out, as well as Joshua Nichols, CJ Jeffries, Austin Ruskoff, Mark Kluge, Joshua Rudolph. And it looks like Kirk is going to keep stretching that fuel, as is Cody. Joshua Nichols, CJ Jeffries both coming in. Look like CJ may have had a close call coming in. I don't see any damage to the car. Austin Ruskoff also in right behind. Mark Kluge, Joshua Rudolph also have not been in yet. Mark has a new paint scheme here tonight. He's currently scored in third. And here they come. Kirk Marble is in. Cody Burke is in. We should see Mark Kluge and Joshua Rudolph in as well, completing the cycle of stops. Here comes Mark. And here comes Rudolph. That'll cycle the lead back to Christopher White. Now, we did mention it earlier, we do have help in race control tonight to talk to. Mark the Man Dantuma. Let's see what the drivers are saying after that first full run on a set of tires. Hey, Mark, it's Doug. You got me?
I got you, Doug. What's up?
So it looks like everybody who's came in made that first tire change, and I have to ask, what are the drivers saying, or what were they saying at the end of that run?
They definitely were not happy at the end of that second stint. A lot of them talking about this is some very unkind words towards the league organizer.
So what you're saying is Austin needs to escape quickly after the race.
Yeah, we're setting up a security detail for him, so we'll get him out of here before too much violence occurs. But no, everybody's they're they all know the gig. They all know that they need to save the tire and stretch it out. So they're doing okay. Just car obviously a little bit tight there at the end.
It definitely looked like it was tight, but it also looked like that right rear on some of these guys is about melted at the end of 30 laps. We saw Patrick Pieper and a few others just sliding it out of the turn.
Yeah, the 06 had a little adventure coming off a 2 there too. So yeah, it was definitely the guys that ran it hard on the right rear seemed to have more difficulty with it loose at the end. But overall, it's tight until it isn't.
Well, I've just noticed Cody Burke after pit stops is now up into 4th. So what are you guys going to do to slow him down next? And will it work? Has anybody thought about throwing a dead body in the car?
We're considering getting that clown vehicle from Twisted Metal to see if we can get them to do something to slow him down.
It probably won't work.
No, it won't.
Well, man, good luck. Obviously, green so far. That comes as a bit of a shock, I think, to everybody. But, man, it has made things a bit interesting as everybody coming back up to speed.
Yeah, I think the fact they're racing the tire sets in the track, so that's kind of led to a little more give and take here, at least at the start. But I expect it to ramp up as we get closer to the end.
Definitely will. Well, good luck. You may need it at the end of this one.
All right, thank you, Doug.
Mark Bantum getting out of the race car to handle race control. You got to hand it to guys like him. There's a lot of guys out there that will hop out of the car and take over race control duties to make sure a good league like SMR keeps rolling. Christopher White still has the lead, but his lead is now 8 1/4 seconds over Dylan Schreiner, and Christopher is pulling away. Matt Morrison another 4 seconds back, but Brandon Jennings just hopped into 3rd. Brandon is on maximum attack as it looks like Cody Burke has slipped back to 7th. I think Cody likely conserving the tires early in the run. Brandon Jennings definitely is not. Now back up into 3rd. Brandon is on the move. He had a rough race at Dover. I don't think there was much of his car left after Dover, but man, you gotta hand it to him. He gets back in the saddle tonight, and he is putting on a clinic charging through this field. Patrick Pieper now up 7 spots into 4th. Kirk Marble up 7 spots into 5th, and we saw a moment ago while I was talking to Mark, Kirk getting a better run out of the turns. Almost got into Pieper's bumper. And again, wow, Kirk gets such a good run on corner exit. Brandon Jennings down low just enough. It gave Kirk a bit of a run into turn 1. Bieber got stuck up on the high side, slips back into 5th. The lap car of Richie Ragsdale just ahead. Oh, that gets tight. 3 wide. Pieper gets back by on the high side. Worth noting, Devin McDonald now back up into 9th. Joshua Nichols in 10th. Richie Joplin currently in 8th, right behind Burke. And Richie Ragsdale has gone to pit road, but I'm more concerned right now with Cody Burke, who seems to be fading. Did he pick up some damage, or is his car having problems? Or is this just part of the strategy for the Dominator tonight? Burke is now slipped back into 9th with Joshua Nichols looking underneath. And Burke slips back into 10th. Meanwhile, up front, Christopher White, he is just walking away from the field. This is the best performance we have seen out of Christopher all season long. He has a 13.9 second lead over Kirk Marble. Kirk just moving up into second. Schreiner back in third. Looks like Schreiner kissed the wall. Oh, and Kirk is going to do the Kirk thing. We often see drivers when they come here to Indy, they will weave down the front straightaway in the backstretch, trying to shake the draft and shake people off their bumper, out of their draft. Kirk can get very, very aggressive in that move. And folks, I hate to tell you, that's not even close to the most aggressive we will see Kirk get trying to break the draft tonight. Hey, Imperial, how are you tonight? Patrick Pieper back in third. Brandon Jennings in fourth. Cody Burke is continuing to fade. He is back to 11th. We have not seen Burke fade at all season long. 14 wins out of 25 races. He had marched his way up into the top 5. But now he's going backwards mid-race. Something is way off here tonight. There may be a glitch in the matrix. Barney the flag man standing there in the flag stand, looking kind of bored. Brandon Dillon and Brandon Jennings, Dylan Schreiner both in for their next fuel stop. That will be fuel only. Remember, everybody has changed tires once. They only have one more tire set. I expect to see everybody change. Around 20 to go. Christopher White is giving up the lead. He is coming in. Kirk Marble is stretched further than everybody else all night long. He is going to stay out. Same with Patrick Pieper, Richie Joplin, Joshua Nichols. Richie did tell me Thursday he started working on conserving fuel around here. It has been something he's told us repeatedly. He cannot save fuel. It does appear he's starting to figure it out. Imperial, how's your weekend been, buddy? Kirk will continue to stretch. Patrick Pieper is coming in. Richie Joplin will stay out. And Joshua Nichols stays out. Ryan Philbrick is in. Alex Harper is staying out. CJ Jeffries And Cody Burke also stay out. Yep, I can definitely relate to that, buddy. Hope it gets better for you. I believe Kirk is going to have a few more laps of fuel in the car. Richie Joplin is headed in. Joshua Nichols stays out. Alex Harper is coming in. Cody Burke also staying out. Austin Ruskoff, we know he knows how to save fuel, and he will top off every opportunity he gets. Malachi Martin on his way back out. Christopher White is back out as the first car that has completed stops. As Joshua Nichols heads in. Kirk still out on track. CJ Jeffries, Cody Burke both stay out as well. Austin Ruskoff is coming in. Christopher White now up into fourth. Malachi Martin on his bumper, not on the lead lap, but they can definitely work together to make up some ground and to conserve some fuel and boost their speed. Dylan Schreiner looked like he may have kissed the wall. Kirk Marble gives up the lead he is in. CJ Jeffries is coming in. The Dominator stays out. And Cody Burke assumes the lead. Christopher White now back into second place, just waiting on Burke to make his stop. But interestingly, at the moment, Christopher is closing on Burke, now less than 12 seconds behind. But Cody's going to keep going. Have a great night, Imperial. Hope to catch you later, buddy. Mark Kluge is coming in as well as Joshua Rudolph. And Cody Burke is finally coming in. That was a 17-lap run on fuel. The longest run we have seen tonight. Christopher White now has an 8-second lead over Kirk Marble. Kirk is actually starting to chip away at the lead just a little bit. He's 8.8 seconds back, but gaining ground. Patrick Pieper in third, about 4.7 seconds back, losing ground. Brandon Jennings in fourth, and Richie Joplin has made his way to fifth, as Malachi Martin appears to have had a problem just a moment ago. There's Malachi back behind the leaders, off into turn one. Oh, Malachi gets hard into the outside wall, locks him up, manages to keep it off the inside wall. Finally gets it gathered up, rolling the right way. And he does get the car back out on track, but he did limp it back to pit road. And the caution is out for the first time tonight. Our first caution of the night. They are not within their fuel window. Everybody could take tires here. This is definitely going to make things, everybody, strategy's just going out the window. Let's see if we can see what happened. Matt Morrison appeared to have been involved in this, going off into turn one. Oh, Matt gets squished into the wall. Hit from behind. Ouch. That was Ryan Caldwell that got stuck up on the high side. Matt Morrison back behind avoided the worst of it, but did catch a piece. Caldwell, though, he definitely got the worst of it. Now, I suspect everybody will come in to top off on fuel. The question will now be, what do they do about tires? Wow, quite a few cars staying out. Kirk Marble, Cody Burke, Brian Hewitt, Joshua Rudolph, Ryan Caldwell, Malachi Martin, Jeremy Queener, Richie Ragsdale, all staying out. Double D is out of the race, as is Troy Thomas. Okay, Patrick Pieper, no fuel, fuel only, no tires. Christopher White, Ryan Philbrick took tires, as did Devin McDonald. Austin Ruskoff, Dylan Schreiner, fuel only. Garrett Korn took tires. And it looks like Richie Ragsdale has not been in. He took tires just a bit ago. Now the question is, the guys that stayed out, will they come in? It looked like we were going to have another caution-free race here tonight, but things just heated up. It's going to pack the field back up. Everybody will still have to make one more stop, and we've got several headed back in to top off. Including Christopher White, Devin McDonald, Austin Roscoff. No surprise he's coming in. Dylan Schreiner. See if we can get a quick word with our current leader, Kirk Marble. Kirk, it's a risky strategy staying out right now, especially considering everybody back behind you got fuel.
I'm pretty sure I just messed up, Doug.
Well, Cody did the same thing as you, so, I mean, you know.
Let's say it's gonna make me real tight on gas. I need to save 2 laps, and I'll be able to make it on one more stop.
Well, man, good luck. I was questioning the strategy, but I think this whole race has surprised me. I was really surprised to see that caution.
I really didn't want to see that, Yellow.
I imagine not, buddy. Good luck. This is definitely going to get wild. A mix of old tires and fresh tires back behind you. Good luck.
Oh yeah, watch for the snaking.
We noticed you're snaking, buddy. Good luck, man.
Thanks, Doug.
Kirk Marble, folks, is very proud of his snaking. In case you couldn't tell. Alright, gonna be about 27 laps to go on the restart. Man, this caution made things interesting. Let's see what happens here. Pace car dives in. Kirk Marble in control. He is in the zone. He fires. Green flag flies. They are back underway at Indy. Kirk sends it into turn 1. Gets a run on Cody. Trying to get away. Pieper back in 3rd. Jennings in 4th. Ritchie now in 5th. And a lot of action back behind. Garrett Korn is the highest running car on fresh Goodyears. Right now, and Korn is moving up. He's up 16, now 17 spots into 7th. Garrett Korn continues to monster through the field. And here comes Kirk Marble's famous snake maneuver. Nope, it was Cody Burke snaking out front. Kirk didn't bother with it in 2nd. A bit of a surprise. Jennings in 3rd, Pieper in 4th. Jennings looked a little bit loose coming out of 2. May have given Pieper an opening. Garrett Korn in 7, now under Alex. Oh, Brandon's in the wall, close goal behind. But perfect for Garrett, who just took 5th. And somehow Cody Burke has checked out. Quite a battle going on back behind. This is from 8th on back. Christopher White on the move, trying to get back to the front. White has led the most laps so far tonight. All 3 wide on the bottom. Christopher sneaks through. Devin McDonald made the wise choice to stay on Chris's bumper. Meanwhile, Garrett Korn on those fresh tires. Garrett on the attack. Deeper tried to slam the door but couldn't. Garrett going for second on the front stretch. "24 laps to go. Garrett Korn now to second. Can he run down the Dominator?" A lot of action going on back behind. Richie Joplin holding on, battling for third. 3 wide as they head off into 3. Christopher White tries to get back to the front. White now back to third. Man, these guys are making some gutsy moves late in this one, but they're paying off. More 3 wide as they go off into turn 1. Devin McDonald is now marching up as well. Devin McDonald now to 5th. Kirk Marble slipping back. He is in 6th. Make that 7th as CJ shoots by. Man, since the restart, it has been crazy out here. Richie Joplin holds on to 4th, but Devin right on his bumper. Devin trying to get that run into 1. It looks like he's got it. Devin holds on to it, keeps it out of the wall barely. Devin McDonald now to 4th. Christopher White in 3rd. Is closing in on Garrett Korn in 2nd. But at the moment, the Dominator has a 3-second lead. Remember, Cody has not taken his final set of tires. And we know he can go at least 17 laps on the tank. Kirk Marble has slipped back into 7th. The battle from 7th on. Oh, things get tight through the short chute. Oh, big hits into the outside wall. Dylan Schreiner barely avoiding that. Mark Kluge at the tail end of the lead lap, back in 18th, trying to find his way forward in the mix with all the leaders. And Kirk Marble is in for his final stop. No, it will not be his final stop. He will need one more stop for a splash of fuel. Or one more caution would help Kirk out. Cody Burke still has the lead, but Garrett on fresh tires closing in. And Christopher White has just about caught up to Garrett. The sun is peeking back out. Let's take a quick look. Track temperature at 81 at the moment, a little bit cooler than it was at the start of the race, but man, if the sun breaks through the clouds here late in the race, this track will get hot and greasy. We saw Cody conserving fuel earlier on, stretching that run. He just has to make it around one more time. He can come to pit road. Next time, take 4 tires and fuel and go the distance. But Garrett Corn is on the attack, now just 2.5 seconds back. Christopher White is right there with him in third. Kirk Marble right behind. Kirk now a lap down in 17th, but Kirk is on fresh tires. Cody's going to go another lap. Kirk Marble has cleared those 2 lap cars, while Garrett Corn and Christopher White battle for second. Devin McDonald now up into 4th. Richie back to 5th. And Richie has CJ all over the bumper. Christopher White has led the most laps here tonight. And remember, even the guys that came to pit road under the caution, they will still need to make a final stop. Most of them, it will be a splash and go. And Cody Burke is still rolling. As here comes Kirk Marble, he's going to unlap himself the old-fashioned way. Kirk Marble just set the fastest lap of the night, 52.40. Brandon Jennings is on pit road. And it looks like Brandon may have had some problems getting to pit road. Kirk Marble has just got himself back on the lead lap. Cody continuing to stay out, and Kirk has begun to snake it. Let's take a look at Brandon's pit road entry. There's Brandon coming through 3 and 4. And it looked like he had a little help through the short chute. He gets down onto the apron. I think he may have gotten the wall there. Let's take a look from the blimp one more time. Brandon pushing it, coming out of turn 4. Heads down to the inside, hard on the brakes. He does smack the wall, but he gets her woed up. And Cody Burke is on pit road. This will be his final stop. Christopher White has the lead. Matt Morrison, Patrick Pieper, Alex Harper, Joshua Nichols, Ryan Philbrick, Brian Hewitt, all on pit road. That top 7 have not been in yet. They will have to make one more stop, and here we go. The leader is in. Garrett Corn in right behind. Devin McDonald is coming in. Richie Joplin heads in as well. CJ Jeffries is going to stay out. Scott Roney is coming in. Austin Ruskov stays out as well. Cody Burke coming out of turn 4, fresh tires and a full tank of fuel. Can he reclaim the lead? Christopher White took fuel only, as did Garrett Korn. But here comes Cody Burke reeling in Christopher White. CJ Jeffries is coming in. Richie Ragsdale's coming in. Austin Ruskov is coming in. And we'll let the lead cycle back to Christopher White, but Cody Burke is just 1.7 seconds back and closing. Brandon Jennings completed his pit stop, but he did get penalized. That has set him back to 17th. Kirk Marble, after his final stop, is back in 14th. Back in 4th. Garrett Korn in 3rd. Burke in 2nd, but for how much longer? Cody has caught Christopher White. 11 laps to go. Can Christopher drive defensively for 11 more laps? Burke gets a run and looks underneath. He's got the nose in, pulls even into turn 3. Cody Burke reclaims the lead, coming to 10 to go. A heartbreaking end to this one for Christopher White, who dominated most of this race. Garrett Korn holds on to 3rd for the moment, but Kirk Marble is right on his bumper. Coming into tonight, Christopher White was out of the playoff contention. Tonight's run will bring him closer to contention, but with 3 races left, he's going to have to be on it. Iowa, Watkins Glen, and Richmond. 3 races left in the regular season, then we're on to the playoffs. Christopher still has a shot, keeps having runs like he's having tonight. He'll be back up in the fight. Kirk Marble in 3rd, but Garrett staying with him for the moment. And what about Devin McDonald running currently in 5th? As we mentioned early on, Devin has been fast week in and week out, but consistently gets caught up in somebody else's mess. With now 8 laps to go, Devin may be safe. And he is going to gain some ground on Scott Roney, Chad Ragsdale, and almost everybody ahead of him. Definitely a great comeback night for Devin. Christopher White sits in second. He is 4.8 seconds ahead of Kirk Marble as they come down to 7 laps to go. Cody Burke's lead now 5.9 seconds. Well, I'd say he fooled us all when he was fading earlier in the race. It was just a strategy move that worked out to perfection. Six laps to go for Cody Burke. Christopher White still has a 4.3 second lead on Kirk. Kirk has finally started to put some space between him and Garrett. Devin McDonald actually gaining a little bit of ground on Garrett, but now he has Dylan Schreiner right on his bumper. Dylan, another one who has had a rough couple of weeks, getting caught up in other people's messes. And it looks like Dylan's got to run the fresher tires. Dylan's going to move into the top 5. Kirk Marble is on pit road. He didn't have enough fuel. Man, a heartbreak for Kirk, who had been fighting his way up, but that has got to be a breath of relief for Christopher White, who he was gaining on. That also puts Garrett Korn back up on the podium. Dylan Schreiner back and forth is closing on Garrett. He is 2.3 seconds back and closing quickly. Burke's lead now 9.5 seconds as he gets 4 to go. Christopher White may not go to victory lane tonight, but man, he should consider this a big victory overall. What an amazing night Christopher has had. Garrett Korn in third, 6.7 seconds back. Dylan Schreiner in fourth, now 1.25 seconds behind Korn. He is closing. Three laps to go for the Dominator. Kirk Marble is still holding on to the lead lap, but he is back in 16th. A heartbreaking end to a very good night. Also having a great night, Brian Hewitt up 6 spots into 12th. Alex Harper up 5 spots into 9th. Richie Joplin up into 7th. Make that 6th. And the two Richies are working together late in the race. Garrett Korn up 20 spots into 4th place. And he may take 3rd as they get 2 to go. And what a night for Christopher White. And another amazing move, another amazing race by Cody the Dominator Burke. Oh, a little bumping going on down the front stretch. And here we go, the white flag flies one more time around for the Dominator. Cody Burke qualified on the pole, but as per usual, he had to drop to the tail end of the field because he has won so many races. He marched his way up through the field, got back to the top 5, looked like he was fading out of the top 10, but played the strategy perfectly, got himself back to the lead, and out of turn 4 has a 12 1/4 second lead. As here he comes, Cody the Dominator Burke wins again. He'll get to kiss the bricks at Indy. Christopher White has an amazing night, coming home in 2nd. And Dylan Schreiner pulls off a great run, coming home in 3rd. Well, it has been an amazing night of racing, and we're going to talk to our top 3 here in just a moment. But folks, don't forget to come back tomorrow night at 7:30 Eastern. Jones BS Racing is back on track. And don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. This race will be on YouTube tomorrow morning in 4K. And let's see. Let's start by talking to 2nd place, Chris White. Chris, I really thought you had this one licked about halfway through the race. We saw Cody fading and you pulling away from everybody. If I were you, I'd call it a win, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's a good race.
It was not only a good race, I mean, you obviously led the most laps here tonight, but a huge points night. You were effectively out of any playoff hopes, but this race may have bumped you back up very close to it.
Yeah, for sure. It's a good points night. Strong car, strong run. This is probably my best track on the iRacing service. had a very good solid lead there. I think 13 seconds or so, but I wasn't really sure that I would have made it to the end. I think I was judging between 2 or 3 pit stops left at that point, and others were probably going to only need 2. So I think it would have been close, but that caution came out and kind of threw a curveball there, and yeah, tried to do it, but I think the 20 had some tires left there at the end, and that's what got him out there.
Well, man, it was still one heck of an impressive run tonight. Great job. And like I said, it looked like you were going to dominate it all night. An awesome finish, buddy. Great job.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Dylan Schreiner comes home in third. Dylan, I got to say, man, last couple of weeks, you have had zero luck whatsoever. You've had great runs, only to get caught up in somebody else's mess. Tonight, you're back on the podium. That's got to feel good.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to finish one of these and not get drove through or something bad happen. Any of the other nonsense that's gone on, but yeah.
Man, it was an awesome run there. Obviously, you faded a little bit in the early going, but and it looked like you had the strategy nailed, and late in the race, you had the speed nailed down too, and you just came flying up through the top 10 after final pit stops.
Yeah, I had a 40-second speeding penalty about halfway through the race, and that really set me back. I think it would have been a shootout with me and Burke there at the end. We were the only two, I think, on fresh tires for that last run. Nailed the strategy, just didn't execute well.
Oh, man, still an awesome comeback. One heck of a race, and you definitely earned it after the last few weeks, man. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And finally, our winner, Cody the Dominator Burke. Win number 15, and I just checked, it's 57.2%. You're getting closer.
A couple more to go, and I should get to that 60 mark.
Yeah, it's not going to take much. And, man, I have to say, about the halfway point, we noticed you were kind of starting to fade, and I wondered if it was strategy or if something had gone wrong we had missed. But when that next round of pit stops started, all of a sudden Cody's back up in the top 3, and after the pit stops, you were just checking out. I gotta say, you had some very long fuel runs tonight. Excuse me.
Yeah, I kind of had 2 strategies going. I saved fuel from lap 1, so I think that last green flag pit stop, I was the only one that could have made it on fuel. So I was saving tires and fuel. If the fuel thing didn't work out with a caution like we got, I just wanted to make sure I had an extra set of tires. So those last 28 laps, I would have fresh ones. So yeah, it all worked out exactly the way I was hoping it would.
I'm just looking at the numbers here. Nobody else, the majority of the folks, 14 to 15 laps on a tank. Your second stint was 16 laps. Your third was 17. Your fourth was 18. Heck, that last run of 14 laps had to be a cakewalk.
Yeah, I think I still had another 4 laps to go or so. So yeah, I'm surprised no one else ran that same fuel strategy. Because you could have won the race both ways, whether it be tires or being one of the only ones to make it on that last deal. But it worked out for me.
Well, it definitely did, and on your way to a dominant regular season championship, and you're going to be in a really good position going to the playoffs here in a month.
That's what I hope. We'll see what we got in the playoffs, but I'm gonna, for now, try to keep winning these races.
Well, you're on the right track, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Cody Burke will go celebrate by drinking some milk. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Don't forget, tomorrow night at 7:30 Eastern, a lot of these same drivers will be in the Jones BS Racing We'll be racing both the late models and the ARCA cars tomorrow night. You're not going to want to miss out on that. We've got racing every night this week. And don't forget to follow us on YouTube. A lot of great shorts are out there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope y'all had as much fun as we did. We'll see everybody tomorrow. Have a great night, y'all.